and of violence and of lies. And for us, we are victims of lies and brainwash. My brothers and sisters, this has been deliberate. It has been done by Museveni and his people, smartly and intentionally and deliberately. It started way back in the times of Idi Amin. Museveni was strategic. He planned this. It started way back in the days of Idi Amin. For example, you remember the murder and disappearance of the former Chief Justice of Uganda, Ben Chiwanuka. Some of you that research, I want you to go because all information is online. It's on TikTok, it's on YouTube, it's everywhere. I want you to go and follow the account of Hussein Lumumba Amin. And you will find out that it is very, very possible in 90% that Museveni and his fellow criminals of Ronasa in 1984 actually are claimed to have abducted Ben Chiwanuka. In the drones of those days, the car belonged to Museveni. You choose something. Museveni wrote about that car in his book, Sowing the Mustard Seed. And he said he was parked in Mbale, where the government forces of President Idi Amin attacked those terrorists. Amin survived. Museveni survived. His friends did not survive. He wrote about it, not knowing it will come back later. Now, Ben Chiwanuka was abducted up to today. Is not seen. In the same tactics that are happening today. That was intended to make all of us, especially the people in Buganda, to hate President Idi Amin. And it worked. It worked. We all grew up hating him until the truth started coming out. That did not stop there, ladies and gentlemen. In 2004, in Bushenyi, while they were burying Adonia Tilerondwa, a former UPC member, Kainda Otafire came out as if a ghost had come on his head, and he confessed that Museveni and his people would put on UPC uniform and go in the villages in Buganda and slaughter people. These are not my words. These words came from the mouth of Kainda Otafire. These people would dress like UPC. They would go kill people, child, mother, father, everything. And then later on, they would come and pretend to be fighting for our people. And that is how the hate in Buganda against Obote and his people started. That's why I'm telling you, we are victims of propaganda and lies. We were set up against each other, to hate each other, and it worked. Until the truth came out. So we grew up hating each other. When Museveni took over in 1986, they had collaborations with people. I have an uncle, his name is Andrew Rutakome Kaira. He was one of the rebels that spoke to Museveni and agreed to work together. But the hypocrite and liar that Museveni is, Kaira was kicked and shot dead in 1987. But that is not the story. Where is the story? When Kaira's forces joined Museveni, they were largely Baganda. But after the elimination of Kaira, those Baganda soldiers, they were under Museveni, and as a soldier, you just take orders. They were deployed in northern Uganda. This is a conversation that I had with one of the Acholi leaders. Because in our generation, we were trying to find out, how come Kabaka Mutesa and Audio Chain were best of friends? How come Kabaka Mwanga and the old leaders of Acholi were friends? How come that we were so in love that even the most important place in Buganda, Kololo, is named in an Acholi language? How come we are not friends anymore? So this elder told me the story. He said after Museveni took over, the Baganda soldiers, those that belonged to Kaira, they didn't have a leader anymore. They were deployed here and they ordered to massacre Baganda soldiers under the orders of Museveni carried out those massacres. Tell me why the Acholi and Lango and people of northern Uganda would not hate us. So yes, we were set up against each other by the same man. This went on, and it worked for Museveni until the truth came out. That is not enough. I want you, comrades, to go and research. You have your smartphones in your hands. I want you to go and research about a genocide that they call a brilliant genocide or a silent genocide that was carried out here in northern Uganda. For so many years. Why? That was not only a revenge against former President Milton Bobi. No, it was to disempower, to dehumanize, to break the people of northern Uganda. That is how we got here. It happened for a long, long time. I have watched many documentaries, and in that documentary, unfortunately, there are leaders like Honorable Robert Mao, who spoke very painfully for the people of Acholi against that man that used the military to dehumanize them, to destroy their livelihood, to destroy their education, to destroy their future. This was done in northern Uganda, just like everywhere, just like in Busoga, just like in Karamoja, etc., etc. It is so painful that when we were growing up, the people of northern Uganda had been the most educated. And today, the older generation in northern Uganda is more educated than the young generation. Because it was a deliberate destruction of our people. Unfortunately, the culprit made sure that he transfers the accountability and the blame to somebody else. Our generation. That is how we got here, ladies and gentlemen. But the good news is that they cannot break all of us. The fact that you are here today means that the spirit of northern Uganda is not broken. It means that all our brains are not completely washed, ladies and gentlemen. We have been all humiliated. All of us driven off our lands. And the terrible thing, for us back in Uganda, they even exhume the remains of our forefathers because they want the land. Here it's no different. You hear the stories of Apa. You hear the stories of everywhere else. And now it is blunted because they bring their own Balalo and they bless them on your land. And they say, now this land belongs to the Balalo. Why? Because they look the way they look. And look the way they look. Are you going to accept that nonsense? No. Just a few days ago, I was watching the directive of the minister who ordered the Balalo off Acholi land and gave them 2 weeks. Did you see the tweet that Mohozi put out? Well, I want you to go and read the tweet that Mohozi put out. And it was in Runyankore. SG, please permit me to ask you to say that tweet in Runyankore and translate in English.
The tweet, I believe it's I'm trying to look for the tweet. You know, there are so many tweets of that man, and you can. Okay. What does that mean? Fellow herdsmen, Obaralo. Our northern Uganda, who are in northern Uganda, Ishitwe, our father, Umukuru w'ihanga, the head of state, Arajire Muturije Eruguru, ordered that we should leave the north. I will come personally to remove you. Hatajira omuntu wena wabihayo ntakizi. Let nobody dare to remove you from there before I come. That is it.
And he spoke it in the national language, the basement language. That is how you are looked at. And you're not alone. You're not the only humiliated people. I've told you the Basoga humiliated, the Baganda humiliated. He was having a function. But while he's apologizing, our brothers are in basements being tortured. Our sisters are being raped. Our people are still being driven off their lands. We are not allowed to be human beings on our own land. While I stand here, I say to Museveni, apology not accepted. The best way, and probably the right way and only way to apologize for injustice is to stop the injustice. If you want to apologize for killing my people, first stop killing my people. That is why we always say we have no problem speaking to anybody, including Museveni. But we are not going to speak to him as prisoners, as captives. Mandela taught us that only free men speak to other men. You must speak from a point of dignity. So brothers and sisters, while we are here today, I just wanted to take you back in that area, in the past, and drive it mainly from the point of northern Uganda. Why? I could speak the whole day about the predicament of the people in Uganda, if I was in Uganda, about the predicament of people of Ankole or Busoga or anywhere if I was there. But now, we are in northern Uganda. Many of you have seen the sons and daughters of northern Uganda, most especially actually, dying suspiciously. I had a friend who was called Walter Ochora. He died suspiciously. You watched a great son of Acholi called Julius Oketa passing away suspiciously. You saw a son of Acholi called Paul Okech passing away suspiciously. Olanya Gilbert, I mean Jacob Olanya, and very many others. I'm sure one day Museveni will come to apologize to you. And I can guess what the answer will be. The book of Lamentations should be over. And then we go to the book of the Acts of the Apostles. That is where I want to point you to. All is not lost. The fact that we are here means that there will be many, many others after us. Our parents were there. They suffered, they struggled, but at least one of their successes is that we are here. And what we do now, what we think now, and what we decide now is going to determine where our children are going to be. Are they going to be born and raised in a completely divided society? Are they going to be slaves like we've been? That is possible. But we can change that with the decisions we make today. It is possible, my brothers and sisters. Let us start by opening the eyes of our people, teaching them who the true enemy is and what we must do about that. Number 2, let us never surrender. Yes. Friends, we are not where we want to be, but at least we are not where we were. We keep moving forward. The fact that so many people are awake, for us to consider that a success. Once upon a time, they tried to make sure this entire generation drowns in alcohol. That is why I was friends with so many, the Musevenis, the Salehs, the Moses, when I was identified by dreadlocks and by weed and by alcohol. That is where they want us to go. But I want us to take a decision to be awake and then awaken many others. Let us ensure that we change our mindset. and we are united by our pain, our common pain, and our common hope for a better Uganda, for a new Uganda where everybody will be free and equal before and under the law. That should be the aspiration of all of us. In a Uganda where you won't be shy to be a Karamajo, or a Langi, or a Nacholi, or a Madi, or a Muganda, or a Musoka, or a Munyankole, or anything. Because under the law we will all be the same, equal. I want to call all of you ladies and gentlemen to the effort of keeping the hope alive. Let us keep the hope alive, ladies and gentlemen. Every factor is on our side. Every factor. The people are on our side. Majority of the people that you speak to, well, some of them will tell you silently, but they will tell you that they are tired and they want to change. At least that you see, you feel everywhere. So, the people are on our side. We are not breaking any law. Although now they've started calling us rebels, because they only know violence. They only know violence. They want to find a way of dealing with us violently. So, the law is on our side and God is on our side. If God is for us, nobody can be against us. That means every factor, every single factor is on our side. But that is not enough. Because God will only do for you what He can do through you. Anything that God cannot do through you is not going to do for you. Because we are created in the image of God. And we are the representatives of God. So everything that God wants to do for our people, it will have to go through us. I'm very glad I'm speaking to leaders. You, God has chosen to lead our people, to lead us through this pain and get us there. Let us do what leaders do. The first thing, leaders educate themselves. Leaders make sure they are informed. Please be informed. Please research. My friends, when you go to TikTok, when you go to Facebook, Twitter, don't look for nudes, don't look for beautiful girls or boys. Look for facts, because they are everywhere. We live in a new generation, an enlightened generation. Let us use that internet. There's a young man from Kitgum who I like so much. Every now, Jaco, that's the name. Every now and then I see him educating the whole Uganda about northern Uganda. Let us have many more such people. Speak for your people. Because if you don't represent yourself, somebody is going to misrepresent you. So, present yourself. I have traveled the entire country. The pain I see here is the pain I've seen everywhere. And yes, the hope I see here is the hope I see everywhere. Let us connect this, our country. Let us connect this generation. You young people have the power to change things. Let us change them. Good enough, we are already on course. We have an opportunity. There has been opportunities that come and we miss them. They come and we miss them. Every 5 years, there's an opportunity to upset the status quo. We have to catch it. So this is a great opportunity. This is an opportunity that our fathers did not get. The dictator was still strong, but now the dictator is used and useless. He is wasted. He is finished. Even just walking, he feels the pain. Okay? We are younger than him. We are even younger than his messed up son. We are moral. We are connected to the world. He can no longer do crimes. And when he does them, they get in his neck. Because right now, he's in the International Criminal Court for the people he killed in 2020. He would have massacred us all by now. But he knows what stands ahead of him. So that's an opportunity. Ladies and gentlemen, there is another opportunity that is coming our way, and is coming in just a matter of months, just under 6 months, and that is called the protest. I've heard so many people, so many young people all over the country say, no, Bobi, get us guns. Others say, let's go to the bush. I have not told anybody to go pick up guns. Although I've not told them not to go. That is their business. But as for me and the National Unity Platform, we believe in the power of the people. Don't get me twisted. Even the power of the people sometimes uses violence, especially when they're justified. It was the power of the people, especially where I come from, that helped Museveni come to power. But for us, we asked him to farm even if there were members in a polling station and voted him out. He got shocked. The man shamelessly came out and said, oh, they cheated us. It is NUP that brought JAT. It is NUP that brought military police. Even when he owns the media, even when he owns the courts, he shamelessly went to court and ordered that judge called Nwamanya to overturn the election. He thinks he's winning, but he's exposing himself even further. So, ladies and gentlemen, let us push Museveni and turn him into opposition. Because in the case of Nalukola, he's the one complaining. We must turn the tables and make sure our oppressor is now the one running. That's why I'm calling upon you, ladies and gentlemen, to embrace the protest vote and use it in every possible way. Not only when it's time to vote, but before, during, and after. Look for that vote everywhere. Speak to everybody. Vote. Make sure everybody votes. Guard your vote. Don't leave the polling station. And should they try to mess with that vote, rise up. I don't know if I'm communicating.